Hello, it is I. I return. Wait, what's happening here? Let me fix this. Why can I not see YouTube chat? What the frog? I actually have a solution. Maybe I have a solution, actually, we'll see. And I do. Why is it visibility private? Let's make that public, please. Were my other channel streams? I don't know. Yeah, let's go here. And then I mute it. Boom, now I can see chat. Hell yeah. Let's move this a little bit, though. Oh my god. You know when, like, on, like, newer computers, you, like, try to move something to a specific spot in your screen, and then it's like, oh, but what if it took up the whole screen? And then you're like, no, that's not what I wanted, actually. And then it's like, but what if it took up the whole screen? And then you just kind of get sad by the fact that it tried to do that to you. You know? This Houndoom is, like, close to being good. But I don't think it's quite there. You know? Physical defense is kind of low. It's just the SPDF is too high. I think the only way this would be good is if it had bulk up, and I cannot guarantee that. And I don't think it's good enough to try to roll bulk up, you know? It's also not even, like, that fast. Like, the stats aren't really that good. The special defense is just kind of too good. I think it also has high HP. At least it's good for pivoting. As it's pretty fast, but not too fast, so I can still check if something's fast. Oh, it has a great ball. Hell yeah. And Grass Whistle is kind of nice, I guess. I mean, it's not the best pivot checking move, just because, like, you put them to sleep, but, you know. I also have a, what was it, a Leaf Stone? Yeah. So if I find a Leaf Stone Mon with good moves, I can catch it and gamble. Max Ether. Porygon. So far, this forest has children. It does evolve with a Leaf Stone. I want to see what it has. If it has, like, 2 good moves, I'll go for it. It has Mimic. Foresight, nah. It's a consideration, though. Don't let it... I will say... Okay, never mind. I just got one shot. Fair enough. This guy looks like it did, in fact, not get bulk up. And the stats were, in fact, bad. What was on that route, anyway? Or... What would you have evolved into, Nuzleaf? You would have evolved into Ludicolo, who was bad. Fair enough. What's up with that Porygon? Yeah, I mean, it just had... Oh, huge power. You know what? That makes sense. Huge power, horn attack, stab, just one-shot me. Understandable. Why was that Porygon kind of good? I don't know if Porygon has a lower than 400 BST. Like, I don't know if it can legally run huge power. I don't know. Maybe. I think it's like 385 or something like that. I wasn't paying attention. Maybe I should have. Who knows? Ugh. Excuse me, I'm a little tired. I took like a 3-hour nap or something like by accident. It happens. Sorry, C-Dot, you don't have what it takes. Tragedy. So I took a day off from streaming yesterday, and I definitely needed it. I did have a lot of classes and stuff. So it was virtual, so it's not like it was, like, crazy difficult or anything. But, I definitely needed a break. I was, like, I did realize it, but I just wanted to keep playing anyway. I was very worn out. Because, I don't know, streaming can be tiring. Also, shoutouts to Tangela for just hitting through minimizes there. And then Rough Skin for coming in clutch. That's pretty cool. Anyway, what was it? Too bad. I mean, pivoting down here seems bad anyway. Like, even if it's a really good mon, I think you only get a pivot down there if your current mon is, like, really bad, especially in speed, to make it so you can pivot into something better. You know? Well, this Tangle actually has pretty good speed. So, hopefully pivoting won't be too bad. Let's not forget the item. Quick draw. What frog do I talk about? I don't know. We're just gonna vibe here today. A nice drought / drizzle on the Lediva. And every time I encounter it, I get to see one of the two abilities. Great. Lediva, please leave me alone. That'd be grand if you did. Oh my god. Stop. Stop. There are 4 other mons here. Do I have a water stone? Probably not. I have a King's Rock. I don't know if I could use that even if I wanted to. Numal? Okay, I'm gonna check the other encounters before I continue here. Nothing good here, at least from what I've seen. How have I seen 3 Pokemon here? I guess I ran into a Beldum before, fair enough. And then over here, Flaffy. 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 A Mareep. Please tell me there's an Ampharos. That'd be really funny. Please have the 10% be Ampharos. I'd catch it. So many Flaffy. And Flaffy's not like the worst mon to get if it has decent enough stats. Level 30 is not a terrible evolution level, and it does evolve into something pretty high BST most likely, right? It's just that then you're not running a fully evolved mon until level 30. Where are the 10%? Marowak. Are you faster than me? No. I'm gonna pass. Looks like none of the pivots are good. I guess it's time to check the forest again. Absol is like okay if I can find a level 8 one. If I can level 8 one. None of these guys are fast, which is really annoying. Because this Tangela has pretty okay speed. I mean, I feel like I have to catch it just because I don't have anything else. And I know this Tangela is not going to make it. Whatever, let's just send it. Has good enough attack. Obviously the moves are ass, but who knows. It does get a move level 9. Poison Tail is usable. Haha, you can't use Sandstream on me. I have Sand Veil. Idiot. Yeah. I mean, its stats were okay. It just Never learned... I mean, I got Shadow Punch. Like, it would probably be like Shadow Punch, Air Cutter. I don't know, it just wasn't good enough. And none of the encounters were really good anywhere. All these encounters sucked ass, so fair enough. It is how it is, I suppose. I think Absol is my best bet. Or just try to run Tangela, but Tangela's offensive stats are way too low for that. 2 ghosts, huh? Got super effective pursuit. No, they mirror moved me. No, I'm infatuated. My freaking, what's it called? I mean, it's not like I would have won that without a lot of luck anyway, right? I was hoping for a water stone. That would be fun. Alas, I'm likely just gonna die to this Metacham. Yep. Gotta love the howling. Kinda goes card though, no? Alright. I should have named it EP Stream, but also I didn't, so here we are. Anyway, time to lose. Shout out to Mewtwo being the starter that I could not choose, so I had to choose someone that fights the starter with a Mewtwo. And look, Baltoy was not going to do much better, right? Alright, Feebas versus the world. Okay, it evolves at level 35 in this. Not like a Feebas is ever getting to that point, but I knew it had to change the evolution method in this. $150, even though that number's probably inaccurate. Alright, Sunkern versus Slacking. Game, you're cruel to me. I guess I click Ice Punch, hope it doesn't one-shot me, have it one-shot me. I mean, like, look, what am I supposed to do, man? It's a Slacking. My Sunkern. I think I said Sunflora, it's the Sunkern. I'm feeling a favorite here. Nope. This is an interesting Scyther. The Spadef is really low, though. Alright, well, doesn't matter. Ludicolo just tanked my hits. I feel like the only way you get out of the lab is if you have at least a decent enough mana and your opponent has a child. Right? That's what it feels like. Stop giving me small children. It's not even worth trying to evolve Azurill because it evolves into another child. Also, it just died, so, you know. At least I get to beat up the the Sunkern now. With my Stab Silverwind. Let's hope nothing goes wrong. Oh, nothing went wrong. Sweet. Hi, Cakes. How you doing? It's a bit of an EP stream today, as I'm struggling to get out the door. But it's an EP chill stream today. Took the break yesterday because I had a lot of classes, and also I was really tired and needed a break Because I was streaming like every day, a couple times a day sometimes. But, feel good. Yeah. I should take this person. Right. Milk. Huge. Paralyze heal? Aw, oh, tiny mushroom. I was trying to call it. Glom. I don't have any of the items to evolve Gloom, right? No. But I will when the bottom right item... Oh, that's a Tauros. When this is a Sunstone... Focus ban. Bummer. If I run into Tauros again, I should definitely check its speed. And have it, like, one-shot me, because I'm not very bulky. Hey, Tauros, can you come back, please? I'm gonna catch this Pupitar, because fuck it. Because it's faster than me and has decent enough moves. Or I'll die to it. That also would work. Well, it's ass. Jesus, it's so fast and has nothing else going for it. Was worth a shot. And no Tauros was worth a shot. Nice Drought Fearow. I'll check it when it's at level 8. Unfortunately, this is way too fast to speed check things. But that's okay. I know you can get to level 8 Fearow. I mean, Drought has potential if it has good enough stats to make use of it. Pooch. Like, yeah, if this guy had actually good stats, Fire Punch plus Bubble Beam would go hard. There's a level 8. What do you have? Arm Thrust? You're gonna kill me? Cool. It would have evolved into a... Aerodactyl. Certifiably what else is there? I wanted to check Tauros. Okay, Tauros is bad. Yeah, fair enough. And I wanted to check the Fearow. Fearow was not bad. I mean, it would have had Swift and... Actually, no, it wouldn't have had Wing Attack at level 8. It wasn't terrible. But it wasn't really that good either, so... Would have gotten Ember from a Gym TM, though. Huge drought-boosted Embers. Oh my god, it... Really? Another Sunkern starter? And this time I'm against a goddamn Moltres. At least I'm pure power. Using a special move because my physical move can't touch the Moltres. Bummer. It's okay. Another Hitmonlee starter. Though, and this time was a place I can take. Too slow. Swap the defense and special speed, maybe. Either way, I can hopefully dispatch this Caterpie. Hell yeah. Sure, you can get Signal Beam. Oh, I'm Trace huge. I was wondering when I was going to get an encounter. Wow, I'm so good at streaming and tired. Compound Eyes does exist in this gen. I wasn't 100% sure. What am I doing? Oh my god, what am I doing? Ball. Kenai? Do you have the second ability? A nice double trace. I don't need to trace your trace, pal. Kenai. I don't know if Ball has the second ability. Also, I'm running away from it consistently, so it doesn't look good for Ball fans. I'm a Ball fan. I don't think I have a Leaf Stone, right? Nope. Alright, let me check the other routes. Coughing. Coughing. Lapras. Hustle. No thanks. I'd like to run, please. Though, if I find a Lapras without Hustle, I'd be down. I think it has 2 abilities in this game? I don't know. I can't escape from a Wurmple. Oh, it looks like Lapras was a 5%. Bummer. Let's go check Route 22. The B. Electric. I would rather not have Trace, though. Trace is kind of ass on a mon you're trying to run. And it looks like I would not be surprised if it's its only ability. I can also not run it at anything else. I mean, let me check someone. Right. B. Manectric. Oh my god, I can't run. Oh no, I'm toxic. And they hyper beamed me. Alright, let's walk back to the center. I'm gonna die. Oh, that's so unfortunate. Wait, that didn't count as me losing the tracker? Alright, well, in that case... How do I check? Logs. View log. Yeah, this guy kind of sucked. Were there any good encounters? This run died, right? Like, this is just a dead run because I died to poison right in front of the Pokemon Center. Electrode is bad. There was an Omastar here. Oh my god. Well, if I found this Omastar, it could have been great. Magical Leaf is a good move, though I would have to rely on that for a while. It got Sketch, so I could Sketch for like... Oh wait, never mind. I got Bubble Beam pretty... Or, not Bubble Beam. Water Pulse a bit later. TMs, I got Icy Wind. I got Octazooka. This guy might have been able to, but honestly, it's a little sketchy with how frail it is. Lapras could have had Runaway. The stats were okay. The moves were kind of meh. Fair enough. I feel like the thing that holds back Mons in this game is just moves. There are so few Mons with good moves. It's kind of brutal. Huntail. Waterstone. Aeroblast. For the Nuzleaf, that's probably going to have a grass move. It did not have a grass move. Yay! Sure, you can get Meteor Mash as a treat. Gotten a good amount of Mons out of the lab today. I don't know. Could be a Shell God angle. I'm outspeeding it reliably, seemingly, though, so, Grab this item first. Let's be a little cool looking over here. Leftovers cannot use. Haunter, probably not. Oh my god, he froze me. Maybe that's a sign that the Haunter's cracked. But champion. Sure, let's just catch it. It's a Machampion, it outsped me. Well, I guess I'm very slow, so it's not like that big of a surprise. No. This Machamp is bad. Bummer. Should have definitely healed before heading out, but oh well. I'll have to check the pivots afterwards. Yama? I'll try to find a level 8 Yama. Ooh, I don't know if it's available though. Yeah, it looks like Yama was level 5. I just happened, or 5% that I happened to run into early. Bummer. I have a Water Stone, nothing else, right? Yeah. Alright, let's check the other route. Nidoking, eh. Nidoking. It did outspeed me. It is killing me. I don't think I want it though, because the moves weren't like insane, and Nidoking only learns 2 moves plus TMs if I recall correctly. So, eh. I mean, it did outspeed me though, I don't know. Tropius? Oh, there's Lax here. And it's not the 1 or the 10% seemingly. Hell yeah. I'll check the level 8 ones for speed. If I run into one eventually. If it's slow, I guess I just take the Nidoking. It's like fine. The Nidoking's moves are kind of not good, but it's fine. Maybe it is the 10%. I don't know, I'm kind of running into all 3 of them somewhat equally. Come on, Snorlax. I know you can hit level 8. Level 6. It's an improvement. Come on, buddy. I believe in you. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that the Tropius is the 10%. What else is there to talk about while I'm like just running around in the grass? I looked a bit more into RBY 1v1 UU, and I'm pretty sure the optimal team style is just Golduck plus Hypno plus third that handles Golduck. I obviously could be wrong, but the thing is, Hypno has such few answers, and that one of the few answers is Golduck. And the thing is, Golduck also just doesn't have many answers. I'm just gonna catch this guy. At least attempt to. There we go. So I don't know. Its attack stats are just bad. Like, if this guy had a good attacking stat, I'd run it, but it doesn't. Bummer. I mean, I guess I kind of have to run it now. If this guy gets Sword Stance, it could be something. But, it needs that. It does get 13 moves. I think that's because it gets Stockpile. I'm like, wait, I'm burned to boost Facade. Let's go. Oh, that's a Omanite, huh? Yeah, looks like I'm not winning this. Wait, I am winning it. Let's go. You know what? Maybe the Snorlax isn't, like, terrible. Again, it just needs Sword Stance. If this guy gets Sword Stance, it's suddenly cracked. If it gets something like Dragon Dance or even like Sharpen, I'm also not complaining in the slightest. It just needs a way to boost his attack, and also preferably coverage. Never mind, it's dead. Did it get it, though? No, it did not. Yeah, 61 attack wasn't cutting it, even with very good other stats. Also, it could have had shield dust, and mine didn't. It had suction cups. Let's see, Viridian Forest. Sand Slash was not good. Haunter would evolve into Venu, who was not, like, amazing, but also not bad. And yeah, the Machamp was just kind of eh. I mean, eventually got DD, but also didn't have any physical moves to use it with, so. And then here, it was the Nidoking, who was, like, fine. It wasn't anything crazy. And then the Tropius, who was eh. I mean, honestly, the Tropius wasn't terrible. It just didn't have speed. Oops. And then Route 2 had a Houndoom, which was pretty damn solid. I just never found this guy. Bummer. Got Bite at level 59. I mean, like, its only good special attacking move for a long time was Psychic. So, I mean, maybe. And then the Yama wasn't very good. Anyway, I'm gonna be right back. I gotta go to the bathroom. Okay, I'm back. Yeah, it turns out drinking a bunch of water, like, right before and right at the start of stream is not smart. But it's okay. Goat Duck would never be Did I say Goat Duck would be problematic? I don't know. It's okay. Hydration is always smart. Okay, you know what? This is actually a good story. In high school, you might actually already know this one, but I'm telling it anyway. In high school, my nickname was the Aquaholic. Like, the whole thing is, like, you know, like, high school nicknames are, like, kind of like a joke or whatever, but that was actually a high school nickname I had. And it kind of stemmed... So basically, freshman year, I didn't really drink much water, so I started bringing a reusable water bottle to school. Actually, I think it started off with a plastic one, then I got a reusable one. And then I was like, all right, you know what, I'm drinking... It mostly started because in my first class of the day, I drank so much water that, like, I immediately had to refill it afterwards. And then I started bringing 2, and then I would refill them both during lunch. And then, do I try to run this X-Cloud? Because the stats are good, but, like, it would need Calm Mind, and then it also needs, you know, fucking special attacks that would help. Anyway, I think my favorite quote-unquote Aquaholic moment was, when I did an exchange trip to Germany, where it was, like, a bunch of Germans came over here, lived with us, and then a bunch of Americans went over to Germany. And while I was there, the Americans were doing a trip to, I don't even remember which city it was. And one of my friends was going into the bathroom. You know, in Germany you have to pay to go to the bathrooms, like a little tiny bit. And then I realized, you know, I should probably refill my water bottle. No, I think it was like, I'm actually kind of, I don't know why I went to the bathroom. But anyway, I went into the bathroom. He was in a stall. And just by the clanking of, like, the 5 bottles of water, because I didn't bring reusable waters for some reason, so I just was reusing plastic ones. Just from hearing all of them, like, colliding into each other, he just called out my name. Just called me out. And that shit was funny when he was in a stall, and it could have been any person, but he just knew it was me. Unfortunately, this Blastus is kind of bad. Nice voice crack. Unfortunately, the Blastus is not it. It was fast. But if it gets Sword Stance, though. But yeah, I was the Aquaholic. Do I have a Moonstone? I don't really want to evolve that anyway. Rhydon, eh. Maybe I just send the Blastoise and hope it gets fucking Sword Stance. I mean, even then, it's like it's walled by certain coverage, so I don't know. Whatever, I'll just send it. The brief period of pivots that I was looking at didn't look great, so I'll just send it. I have Metronome for coverage, it's fine. Dying also could be coverage, you know? Come on, get Sword Stance. Sonic Boom. I don't even know if I'm allowed to use Sonic Boom, but I'm just not going to. That's a Latios. Oh my god, that's fucking Wish. Time to click Metronome. I believe in the Metronome strats. Metronome Dragon Rage, let's go! Good job, Blastus. Yeah, the issue is this guy's attack is really low. I think ideally it gets Bulk Up, and then, like, maybe, like, Brick Break or something, like a better... Or, like, Calm Mind and, like, actual special coverage. That also would work. It doesn't need to be a physical attacker. It can be a special attacker. The attacks and stats are kind of equal. Guess I'll take Doom Desire. I do like desiring Doom. It's just not that good of a Blastus, but we'll run it. Partially because I've already gotten pretty far in. I can always go for a Diglett Tunnel pivot. If this gets past Brock somehow. Oh my god, stop detecting, please. Stop it. Oh my god, at least I set up a Doom Desire. Alright. We continue on. Next move at level 19, which is a good bit away. But it's okay. What is up with the Ladybuzz having weather abilities? It's really weird. Scyther. Jonks. Oh, that's a scary Jonks. Just kidding. Pearl Seal. I'm just saying the words on my screen. I don't know, I felt the need to go in the middle there. That's a Jolteon. Huge Toxic from the Metronome. Now I see Earthquake. Double Edge. Why does this Jolteon have like moves it can actually learn? Also, nice Transform from Metronome. I guess I Hyper Voice. The Transform actually kind of did something there. I won't lie. The Transform wasn't terrible. Alright, now let's go back and fight the rival. Eventually. Gotta walk through all these damn encounters. There we go. Alright, time to lose to the rival. Maybe. We'll see. Oh no. That did 0 damage. And you have Iron Defense and Stockpile. Actually, no, Stockpile doesn't do anything in this gen. Well, time to hope Metronome does it for me. Metronome has, in fact, actually just done it for me. Supersonic, I'm gonna pass. Right, you have a Mew. How could I forget? Well, I guess the Blastoise is getting to the gym. That's a thing. Like, sure, I guess. I just wish the special defense and attack were swapped. Then this would be good. I mean, even then it gets walled by certain types, like... I don't know. I mean... Doom Desire is typeless in this gen. Well, Brock's gonna be a real test, so we'll see how that goes. Probably want to save my Aeroblasts, as I barely don't get a kill and take a bunch of damage in return. Cascoon. Bonk. Do I have any berries? No. Yeah, it's weird that they made the berry pouch a key item in this game. Isn't that weird? Say it's weird. It's not just me, right? Oh no. Alright, Metronome. I'm relying on Metronome too much. I'm definitely gonna explode from Metronome, right? Yep. Yeah. Yeah, no. 76 attacking stats are not gonna do it. Nice, I called it. I actually called it. That's so funny. I mean, it wasn't Explosion, it was, Memento. But fair enough. Let's see. Did any of the options... Were any of the options good? No. Oops. Route 2 had nothing good. Yeah, I mean, the encounters were just not great. What was up with Rhydon, maybe? That's, like, the only thing that I encountered that was actually decent. It was, eh. It was a certifiably eh. Like, the fact that I had to rely on Metronome that much, like, it was gonna happen eventually. And yeah, that Blastoise learned very few good moves. So fair enough. Too slow. Bummer. Why am I poison thing over twin needling? I don't know. Nice sky uppercut misses, allowing me to win that. Huge. I'm just blanking on shit to talk about. What did I even do today? Kind of nothing, I'll be real. Yeah, nothing happened. I took a 3-hour nap. That's like the extent of it. I got homework done, I guess, as well. Didn't even finish it. I need to finish it. Either probably tomorrow morning-ish. I don't know, we'll see. I'm kind of slow. Typh. Exact. Trace Ninetales, huh? Definitely feels like a Ninetales ability. Alright, good to know. Level 6 Typhlosion is faster than me. I should try to find a level 8. It keeps whirlwinding me away. Even if I wanted to, I can't scout its moves because it just keeps whirlwinding me. Alright, what do you have, buddy? Uproar? Yeah, whatever, let's just catch you. How do I feel about this Typhlosion? Levitate's really good. The stats are not very good. They aren't honestly, it's just average all across the board. Right? I don't know if this is runnable. I'm gonna take a look at the other options. Maybe there's nothing better and I just try to run the Typhlosion. There was no Leaf Stone, right? No. Doesn't look like there's really anything good here unless the two 5% are good, but I don't want to look for them. Child. The same exact child. A third child. Please show me anything else but Tyro. Oh my god, there's an Executor over here too, or Execute over here too. I guess we try to run the Typhlosion. It does get 6. It only gets 6 moves? Why? Oh, that's a Shuckle. Guess we click Howl. Guess we lose, probably. That did 0 damage, actually. And I got frozen. Can't wait for them to just bust out Rock Slide and just one-shot me after fooling around like they are. I'm just frozen. I'm actually just frozen. I've been frozen for like 10 turns now. Oh, they Fire Punch thawed me. Let's go. Alright, yeah. Yes, Typhlosion... Okay, here's the thing with this Typhlosion. If it wasn't, like, minus special attack nature and then had a bunch of low special set, it could have been good. Like, Dragon Claw didn't get because it was too high level, unfortunately. But it would have gotten Confusion or Whirr Beam, which isn't terrible. I don't know, it wasn't great. Nothing amazing there. What was up with the Giraffe Rig? It was bad. Got it. I keep double-clicking it. It's really annoying. There was a Claydol? Not bad. Provided I didn't get truant, but the special defense was really bad, so I mean, if you think about it, Cakes, Shuckle has a way to hit Typhlosion super effectively with Stab, while Typhlosion doesn't. It's only neutral. Nice battle armor. It's close. Yeah, makes sense. We go back. We run it back. But I might try to do script stuff today as well. We'll see. Counterpoint is Shuckle. Counterpoint, Shuckle actually has a pretty high BSC. It's like over 500 if I remember correctly. Like, the BSC's high. Well, yeah, it's definitely over 500 because just its defenses alone are 460. Oh, that's Explosion. Blue really said, I'm not winning. If I can't win, no one wins. Huh. Why'd he boom when he was gonna lose the battle? Like, what the hell, man? That's just uncalled for. Probably just Sludge Bomb. Died a Slam, makes sense. I think it's like 503 or 50. No, it wouldn't be 505 F3. I think it's 505. Could be wrong. Magmar? I'm down. What is this Magmar? Why does it have 28 special defense at level 5? Would someone care to inform me on why it has that? It has to be like 200 Spit F or something ridiculous, right? Like, let's check. Yep, 234 special defense. That makes sense. Casually higher special defense than Shuckle. I think this is on the route, the song that the route where the daycare is, I think. Huge Stab Sludge. I could be wrong. I just remember trying to shiny hunt for a shiny Galarian Zigzagoon, for a shiny Obstagoon for a VGC team I was building. I built some cool stuff in Gen 8 VGC. I never, like, went to a tournaments, but I did, like, play on the in-game ladder. I built some cool stuff, and I remember I built, I think it was, like, double Defiant with, Braviary and, Obstagoon, if I recall correctly. And then I know later into the gen, when ability, or when, like, some legendaries were available, I remember I had a team where I had beat up Doug Trio, because Doug Trio was interesting because you had Ally Switch and obviously the ability to trap is strong. And then I had a Justified Virizion. And then I also, on that same team, had Weakness Policy Goodra. It was a physical Goodra, and it had Sap Zipper. And I had a Comfey who had, you know, Triage Giga Drain to fuel it. Actually, I don't remember if it was Weakness Policy. It might have been a different item, but it definitely was Sap Zipper. I think I have the Goodra team in my builder still. I don't believe I have the other one, though. It's probably still in my copy of Shield, though. Because, yeah, I bought Shield. Nice Master Ball for the pivot. That's a Blissey. That could be something. Well, it used Memento, so that sucks. I needed to find a level 8 one anyway, right? So it's fine. Good items. Try to find the level 8 Blissey. The attack stat's pretty high, too. I hope it's not huge power Teehee. You know, I wonder, what happens if you physically, like, you get a huge power Mon from a pivot attempt, and then, that was the only pivot attempt you had access to. What happens? I don't believe I have any stones, right? No. Like, are you just stuck with it until you get to a pivot? Do you just get another chance to pivot? I don't know. Like, let's say this Blissey's huge power, and I already got the pivots on the other routes. What happens? Alright, Master Ball, go! It's pretty good. The Iromnom police come to your house? You know what? That makes sense. The moves on this Blissey are not very good. But the other traits are pretty solid. I do wish it wasn't minus speed nature, though. The minus speed nature kind of sucks. It also might lose to a Shuppet, which isn't preferable. But we'll see. Da, 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 da. Oh, that's a Drought Ho-Oh. I don't have anything for this. I guess I click Bide. Oh, that's a Dynamic Punch that missed. I have a feeling that Blissey's not getting out of this. Oh, maybe it is. Blissey's getting out of this. I should get a new move here, too. Fire Blast? I mean, I'll take it over a move I am not legally allowed to use. And I do have high special attack, actually. And I have Flash Fire, so if I get hit by a fire move, my Fire Blast gets boosted. I just need moves with freaking power points, man. Give me a move with good power points. Give me, like, Body Slam. Or, like, probably a Tri-Attack. Or, no, Hyper Voice is probably the best bet. Oh, no. I got fucking poisoned by this Umbreon Smog. I think I die to that. Right? Horn Drill? I'll take that over Bide. Like, do I have any way to cure poison? Nope. That sucks. Alright. Guess we die. Because I physically cannot make it to the... Oh, well, I ran into a trainer anyway, so it doesn't matter. That's a Raikou. Well, the Smog just killed me. That's okay. And I have to potion here, I guess. And it doesn't matter. Because I have 6 HP and the Pokemon Center is a million miles away. You know what, Eevee? You can take it. Yeah, this guy had... Okay, it was frail. Don't get me wrong. Okay, the moves were also kind of ass. It just didn't get any accurate moves. Yeah, it just didn't get any accurate attacking moves. Oh well. We go again. Streaming for... how long? An hour? Fair enough. Probably going to be a shorter stream today. I'm not really feeling working on the script today either. We'll see. I reset a little early there, but it's fine. I thought that Horn Attack would kill me. Oh well. Hey, you know, I have double kick for this Lairon. Yo, double kick and a Mach Punch? Huge. Nah. You don't need Fury Cutter. You're a Bellsprout. With magma armor somehow. Oh my god, I... Just go up. Ben, go up. You know, let me change the music. Probably too loud. Oh, that's very loud. There we go. I gotta do a little bit more finagling. Give me a moment. There we go, that looks good. Firestone, ooh. Give me a Growlithe right now. With cracked moves. And I have it evolved into a cracked Mon. Corphish is kind of close if you don't think about it at all in the slightest. Let me out! That's an Arcanine. I'd need to check its moves, but odds are if I check its moves, it's gonna murder me. Also, it doesn't have good moves. Magneton could be something. Though I'm consistently outspeeding it. I guess it is like lower levels, but like it should outspeed me here. I shouldn't be able to run away as easily as I have been. So fair enough. Just show me a level 8. Well, that's a level 8, but it's not the level 8 I wanted. I can't run away from a level 3 Arcanine, but the issue is the moves that it's shown me, I'm pretty sure one is illegal, being Recycle. And then the other one oh, that's a Growlithe. Let me try to find a level 8 Growlithe to check the moves of, so I can use a Firestone on it. There's also just like a Intimidate Sceptile here. That also could be worth it. What do you have, pal? I shouldn't have Mach Punched. I wanted to check your speed. You are slow. Never mind. I guess it's a Growlithe angle. Fair enough. Okay, Growlithe. Yeah, unfortunately, its Sceptile is way too slow. I want to find a level 8 one, though. Honestly, I might just catch it and hope the moves are good. Or there's a Wailord here, so if I find a level 8 Wailord, I might go for it. Or at least I'll check its speed, right? Okay, Drill Peck's a good move. Let me out. Thank you. I like how both Arcanine and Growlithe have Splash. That's kind of fun. I should definitely heal, but I haven't, so here we are. Sceptile, can you, like, not... I already said that I'm not interested, and I don't think you're understanding my boundaries. Please, Sceptile. There's a level 8. I'm just gonna catch it. All right, we have the technology. Why is this Growlithe not terrible? Okay. So here's the situation. Unfortunately, this Houndoom is... Okay, this Houndoom is good. The problem is that it is a special attacker. And we have one special attacking move that isn't very good. Dog did evolve into Dog. This is true. Like, this Houndoom is actually really good. Stat-wise. A little frail, but stat-wise it's good. The issue is my attacking move is Confusion. That is my only attacking move. That's special, I should specify. But hey, it has a good amount of PP. And this guy learns 8 moves, so maybe it has something down the road. Oh, that's a bulky as heck Gara. At least I have Synchronize. I think Confusion's my best bet. No, Drill Peck's definitely my best bet. Come on. There we go. Next move at 13. We're almost there. Healed, yo. But yeah, this Houndoom needs moves, and then we're set. Why is everything so bulky? Like, why do I just lose to this? I got bailed by Truant. Let's go. Oh, never mind. I got cross-chopped by goddamn Snorunt. Yeah, 21 physical defense was bad. Man, this guy got Eruption? I mean, don't get me wrong. Eruption has 5 PP, but that would have been so good. Okay, it literally did not get any other special moves. So I don't think it would have won. But, like, come on. It got Needle Arm, but I didn't get it because I evolved into it. Bummer. Oh well. We tried. It didn't get moves besides Eruption, which only has 5 PP, so it's fine. Compound Eyes for my Fronty plant that I'm not using here, huge. It had the dog on dog aura. That is true, it did have that. Early game is just brutal. But like, once you get past early game, as long as you don't get really unlucky, if you have a good enough mon, you're kind of just cruising for a while. Also, I have a sneaking suspicion that this, yeah. I feel like the legendaries always have crazy moves. Bunch of children for starters. Unfortunately, they have a mon that resists my 2 strong moves. And they have Dynamic Punch. So that's a thing. Oh my god, you have Flame Body too? Great. Well, luckily they just keep getting paralyzed. Come on, Pooch. Pooch inherited the dog energy from last run. Well, technically it was 2 runs ago, but it inherited the dog energy. And made it out alive. Let's go, Pooch. Dogs are blessed for this stream? Yeah, it's looking like it. Oh, you know, I should check Arcanine on that one run. Oh, well. That's fine. Damn Illuminate giving me a billion encounters and not letting me get through the goddamn grass. Deep Sea Tooth. Bagon. Leftovers. Can't use it, but huge. Oh no. Please spare me. Damn. Let me check out one of those guys. It would have all disabled. Okay, this Flagon was not great. The Ninetales was not great. Were there any good pivots? Gator wasn't great. Matang was maybe fine. No, it wasn't great. Yeah, there were like no good pivots. This Kabutops could have been okay, but also it was a 5% and I would have not found it anyway. It's fine. Eventually we'll run into a favorite, right? Well, we have Cross Chop and Revenge for this Snorlax. That's a guillotine. I clicked Magical Leaf by accident. Yep. I feel like that lacks that stall or something. I thought that was just giga slow. Probably the former, or the latter, rather. Alright, surely this Tyro gets past Hypno. Right? Nope. Child time, hell yeah. I was about to say we love children in this stream, and then I was like, you know, that sounds a little weird. We love children, not in a parentheses, not in a weird way. Oh, okay. Nice sword stance and the crab hammer in Gen 3. Even when I stabbed Rock Tomb, it wasn't enough. It turns out Onyx's stats are bad. Even when completely re-randomized. Oh my god, I finally got a Gengar I can use. And it's not good. I have no moves to hit this guy, so the plan is click or go Toxic, and then spam Withdraw. It's not looking good. Come on, Gengar. Gengar looks so chunky from the back in this game. He looks so chunky. You can also really see the spikes on him. Peck? I guess I got rid of Skull Bash. Your favorite problematic character, is it? Yeah. Brock is a character in the anime. This is known. Gengar's back sprite kind of goes crazy, though. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, it's not a good Gengar, so I'm pivoting off of it, but... You know, he tried. Or, excuse me, she tried. My bad. Just too slow. Where am I going? Freshwater. Huge. So far, all the mons here are not good. Like, Gengar's typing is kind of crazy in this because it's... I mean, I think the Ghost typing is probably the best typing in this kind of run just because... there are a lot of normal moves. And then also not being able to be poisoned is amazing. It just sucks that this Gengar in particular is not very good. But apparently it's better than every single other thing I found so far, so here we are. Nidoran male, please leave me alone. I already encountered you on the other route. Why are you here? What's up with you, Walrein? You're slower than me? Great. No thanks. What's the 10% here? Maybe someday I'll find it. Who knows? Swap defense and speed on this Gengar, though. I'd run it. Oh yeah, Cakes, were you here when I said I actually did try out Smash 64? I didn't play it for, like, that long, but I don't know. It wasn't for me. I am happy I tried it, though. It's something I've wanted to try out for a long time, you know? But, it wasn't for me. It's kind of just a combination of the like, I knew going into it that it didn't have buffer, right? Then I knew going into it, but I forgot that it didn't have tap jump off, because I know Melee doesn't have tap jump off, which, by the way, the fact that people are consistently able to do some crazy shit in Melee while having tap jump forced on is so impressive. Like, that shit's brutal. When, I mean, I guess you just get used to it, right? But still. I'm still happy I tried it, though. To be fair, I didn't unlock all the characters. I only unlocked Captain Falcon. I didn't unlock the other 3. But it was just the combination of the lack of buffer, the lack of the lack of tap jump being able to be turned off, and I think the biggest thing is the fact that there's no C-stick. Like, I can handle tap jump being off if there was a C-stick, you know? But there just isn't a C-stick. So, it's just like, what are you gonna do? You could probably... Like, I was using a Switch controller. You could definitely find a way to, like, macro, a C-stick in there, but then you're not playing the game how it's supposed to be, you know? It's like, I don't know. It doesn't feel great. I mean, like, it's Jigglypuff. He can get away with it on Jigglypuff. Jigglypuff does, in fact, have 6 jumps. Where are the 5%? There's one. I'm just gonna catch it. I don't care. Like, it's better, but it's not good. I'll look around in the grass for a, one of the 5% and then be sad when the other 5% is cracked. Alright, there's one of the 5%. Bye. But yeah, I gotta find my copy of Melee that I got at like a old used game store or something a long time ago. I kind of want to try playing it again now. Yeah. Wait. There was several tap jump killed in this business. Wait, why? Huh. But yeah, it's like, I started in Brawl and I didn't know tap jump was a thing you could turn off, or that there was like a jump button. I just got used to doing tap jump. But then sometime in Smash 4, I was like, you know, I should probably turn tap jump off because that's what people do, and it felt so much better. Also, this water sport, not water spout. I will get rid of the move I'm not legally allowed to use, though. I guess part of me wishes that I didn't get used to having tap jump off. But also, tap jump off is just so good for tilts. Especially because I'm a smash stick kind of person. I do think tilt stick is probably better. But I'm Smash Stick because that was the default. It's a very hard thing to unlearn, yeah. Like, I think learning how to not use tap jump was easier than it would be to learn how to not use, or how to reuse tap jump, you know? It's difficult. But, at least in Melee, you don't have to use the up button for all of your inputs. You can still use up for aerial, or you can use the C stick for aerials and smash attacks. It's just up tilt. And obviously up tilt is a pretty important move on many characters. So you do have to learn how to reliably do up tilt on tap jump. But like, it's doable. But it's crazy that people can play Smash 64 so well with all of those restrictions. And it's like, again, it's the kind of thing where you get used to it, I'm sure. But it's crazy to me. Because, like, you see all those, like, Smash 64 combo contests and stuff. And the stuff that people are able to do in that game are crazy. Just because, like, Z-canceling, completely removing end lag. Tap jump from Brawl to Ultimate. So when he started playing Melee, it wasn't still a pain to unlearn. Fair. But the fact that it's there it's really crazy to me that that only became an option to turn off in Brawl. Like, that's crazy to me. Hell is this? Why is it going into a cutscene? Oh, autoplay. Weird. Anyway. Alright, got that fixed. There's actually a current debate on whether control remapping mods should be allowed. Interesting. So I assume, like, the big thing would be... Would that allow tilt stick? Because technically the C stick is just the combo of A plus, like, the smash input, right? So I wonder if tilt stick would be allowed in that. But, or tap jump, because technically turning tap jump off isn't a thing that's in the game. I guess it would make it so the dead zone would be larger? I don't know. As it currently is, the only thing allowed is using Z for jump. Huh. I mean, like, they allow the box. So, like, I feel like that's not out of the question, right? If the box is tournament legal, I feel like that should be legal. Right? Like, that just, to me, feels like... If you're allowed to use crazy controller modifications already, I feel like you should be able to use a smaller modification like that. Especially because, like, you know, in future games you can change your controls like crazy. But I don't know. I'm not an expert at all, so... I just know tap jump's fucking annoying. Anyway, I think this Tentacruel needs, like, better coverage and also tail glow to win. It needs very specifically better coverage plus tail glow. Do I have any berries? No. Like, Flamethrower is a great move, but he needs more than that. You really have to water sport me? And I'm paralyzed. Great. Do I have any way to heal para? Nope. I am the Tentacruel isn't great, so it losing to Brock makes sense. Jesus. should probably heal here on this Roselia. Because it's not doing anything. That's an Aerodactyl who resists both my stats and hits me with a super effective Psychic that did 1 billion damage. Fair enough. GG. I want to look at that arrow. Yeah, this guy got no moves. What was up with that arrow? Because that arrow kind of looked cracked. It was a little slow, but honestly, like, Dragon Claw Psychic is pretty good coverage. Got growth if you got it low enough level. That's it, though. Eh. Were there any better pivots? Not really, honestly. Maybe Banette could have been something? I don't know. But, yeah, I guess I gotta find it. I also need to fucking find my GameCube adapter for the Switch and stuff. Because I have one. I just don't know where it is. I mean, I'd be playing it on a Wii anyway. But still, I want to know where it is. Wow. Wait. Oh, it's No Guard. Nice No Guard Heracross allowing me to sludge you when you digged. Or you dug, I guess. But yeah, it's like I kind of want to try out Melee again. I wouldn't, like, get Slippy or anything yet, but I don't know. Like, Melee's cool. Why does my opponent always have Crab Hammer and I never have Crab Hammer? Huh? Why is this? What is happening? This is... I'm in a playlist, and yet it's not acting like a playlist. Whatever, it's fine. It just keeps jumping to different videos. Even though I have it set to loop. Whatever, it's fine, I'll figure that out. Let's go back to the other thing we were listening to. There we go. Perfect. It's okay, it needs some adjustments to be fair. Yeah, that's reasonable. I have no experience with anything like it, so I have no idea. But I can see that. You know? I know that it has intentionally nerfed inputs, but that's, like, about it. That's all I got. It's just hard when your game is primarily controlled via, you know, very precise analog movement. And then you effectively have, like, albeit nerfed, but still kind of macros. So, it's a weird thing. And I think it's cool in concept because it can help with hand pain. But, I don't know, it's weird. But, like, it is kind of legal macros if you think about it. Obviously, it's very weird, and you'd have to take a lot of time to learn how to use it. But, in theory, if I have it understood, it could be conceptually very powerful. Why am I clicking Mega Punch over Hyper Fang? This guy used Lock On 3 times and did 2 Blizzard. Like, you could have just Lock On Blizzard, but instead you had to YOLO the last Blizzard and it landed. Like, what the hell? Uncalled for. Stab Overheat, huge. Plus bite? Oh. That's Dragon Dance Hypno. Not what you love to see. But we win. Let's go. What I don't understand is why this Charmeleon has this many stars. Like, why does it have 4 gold stars? Like, the moves are fine. And the stats are, like, fine. Do I try to run this Charmeleon? Kind of want to, honestly. But, like, I don't know. Because Ice Beam plus Bite are okay. And I also don't feel like pivoting, so let's just do this. Maybe this will be the last run of today. I don't know. I'm streaming for an hour and a half. Obviously not a very long stream, but it's something. I'll just try to send this Charmeleon. Why the fuck not? Let me check this guy's moves. Fuck it, I'm catching this Walrein. I said I'm catching this Walrein. I feel like it overvalues strong, low PP moves, like Overheat. Probably, I could see it. Also, it might just see that Overheat is Stab. Oh, this Walrein's pretty solid, honestly. Yeah, let's run this Walrein. Obviously, the, like, the moves are okay. The biggest problem is the physical defense is ass. Oh, great. The one Pokemon that completely walls me. Awesome, cool. That's fine. I didn't want to win anyway. Bummer. I want to check what Charmeleon would have evolved into, because I think Charmeleon actually had a good shot against that trainer. I mean, yeah, this guy, it took a long time for this to get any moves that worked. Charmeleon. I mean, its stats were fine for what it was. It learned Flamethrower from the Gym TM, which would have been huge. And then it evolved into a Flareon, and that Flareon sucked, so never mind. It did not matter. It also got Overheat, though. I really do want to know how this star system works, though. Also, I'm doing another run. What the hell? I already started it, so here we are. Too slow. Bummer. I already reset. I can do one more. Not a good Nidoqueen, and also I think it's against the Slacking, right? Yeah. Go, Thunderwave. Yeah, I have a feeling this Nidoqueen's not gonna win. Alright, that's gonna be it for the Iromnom. I will say... Wait, actually, before I switch over... let's do that. There we go. Script. I will say, I had some people, even though I'm not done with the ADV section, I had some people look through the script. Also, I took all of the notes and then I put them over here. And they mentioned a couple things. The big thing that they mentioned that I want, basically, I had someone say that. My mic cut out there. That was weird. Well, I can't read code well, so I'm just gonna... I appreciate you sending it, though. I guess I can look. Yeah, I don't know. That's fine. Anyway, basically, they were saying that Gens 4 and 5 should be a different section because of sound moves not going through sub. I think it's important to mention, but I just don't think it's relevant enough to be its own section. Because let's look at the sound moves. While it looks like there's a lot, there really aren't many relevant ones for this. Because, like, Alluring Voice, not in the game yet. Boom Burst, I believe, was a Gen 5 move. No, it's a Gen 6 move, excuse me. Bug Buzz, okay, that's one. Chatter, only on one guy, not in the game, not in the game, not in the game. Confide, it's like maybe, but that doesn't impact toxic stuff. Not in the game. In Gen 5, it was really bad, Echoed Voice. Not in the game. Banned. Not relevant. Not relevant. Not relevant. Hyper Voice. Like, yes, Hyper Voice is a move, but what's running Hyper Voice? Outside of, like, maybe Meloetta. I clicked Gen 5 instead of trying to look at the moveset. Because, yeah, like, what gets Hyper Voice in Gen 5 that would use Hyper Voice, right? Meloetta. I think it might just be Meloetta. Like, I guess Blissey if you want to go that far, but I think Blissey would rather run, like, Bolt Beam or something. I don't know. Yeah. Chatot? Yeah. True. Okay, so we have Bug Buzz, kind of Hyper Voice. Like, Bug Buzz obviously would affect Genesect, though Genesect is immune to Toxic. What other bug moves are using Bug Buzz, or what other bug types are using Bug Buzz in Gen 5 1v1 outside of Genesect? Here, let's look at the VR. Let's go over to this, viability ranking. Genesect, yes, but the thing is, for Toxic, Genesect is already immune to Toxic, so it really does not matter. And then we scroll down. Volcarona, which is fair. But also, a lot of the time, it's like you click Toxic as Volcarona clicks Quiver Dance, and then they outspeed you and nuke you anyway, right? And then Crustle doesn't get Bug Buzz, or even if it did, it wouldn't run it. And that's kind of it. Maybe there's like one more. Scolipede wouldn't run it. Heracross wouldn't run it. Scizor doesn't run it. Yeah, so the only Mon that it would matter with is Volcarona, and Volcarona... Okay, let me write this down. Sound moves. Parentheses, relevant. In Gens 4 or 5. Bug Buzz. Only relevant for Toxic on Volcarona in Gen 5. Who just clicks Quiver Dance and outspeeds and nukes you before you get a sub up. Or you're running Tornadus, who is like, yeah, Tornadus outspeeds, but then it also can just use a flying move, so it's not that relevant. Hyper Voice, just Meloetta. And I don't... Does Meloetta even run Hyper Voice? Yeah, there's 0 mentions of Hyper Voice on the comp. Doesn't really run it. I guess I should check. Are there, like, Bug Buzz users in Gen 4? Like... There's probably some, like, low-tier on Mega stuff that you can do. But that's it. I'm not counting that. Then Metal Sound, like, maybe, but again, like, the issue is Metal Sound going through sub doesn't really matter in this case because, you know, Then Noble Roar, again, not relevant. Overdrive, no, not in the game yet. Parting Shot, no. Parasong Band, Psychic Voice, not in the game. Relic Song, again, Meloetta exclusive. I will write that down, though. Relic Song, Meloetta, Pirouette, outspeeds a lot anyways. Roar, no. Round, no. Screech, no. Shadow Panic, no. Sing, Snarl, like maybe Snarl, but it's not doing damage on most things, so no. And then everything else, it's just Uproar. And then Uproar is like Porygon Z only. Because Gen 5 Porygon Z. Uproar. Gen 5 PZ. So from what we have here, it's relevant. Don't get me wrong, it's relevant. It's just not enough to have its own section on, in my opinion. You know? I think that's fair. I think if there were more examples of mons that would want to use sound moves in Gens 4 and 5 to get through past sub but can't, then sure. But most of the sound move users come later. Stuff like Hyper Voice, Mega Gardevoir, and Sylveon are Gen 6. Primarina is Gen 7 with either Liquid Voice stuff or just Sparkling Aria. Psychic Noise is later. Boom Burst is later. Yeah. I guess Clanging Scales is also later. You get my point. Alluring Voice. I'll mention it, and I think it was a good call to mention it, but I don't want to give it its own section. Exactly, yeah. And then while I'm talking about mechanics, I do want to talk about the toxic distribution in Gen 8, or at least I want to think about it, because here's the thing. In the Gen 9 section, I talk about it. Right here. I talk about how toxic distribution was nerfed. I don't really mention that Gen 8 Pokemon can't learn it. While toxic distribution was nerfed in Generation 8, outside of Pokemon originating in Gen 8, this did not make much of an impact. Yeah. So basically, it's like, I think that's a good enough mention for it, having it in the Gen 9 section, because there aren't really that many mons that originated in Gen 8 that don't learn Toxic naturally that would want to run Toxic, at least not to my knowledge, you know? So I think this is fine. I don't think I need to talk about Toxic distribution. I think I just need to talk about sound moves, right? Are there any other mechanics? I think maybe something to mention is just Gen 6 power creep. Like, looking at set compendiums, Gen 6 and 7 have the least amount of Toxic just because how powerful they are between Megas and Z moves. That could be worth mentioning. Well, obviously, except Gen 9, who has exactly one mention of the move Toxic. I don't know. Hard to say, honestly. I would definitely include it in this intro section. Because, you know. Let me reread this whole thing. Continuous power creep throughout the generations have made both Toxic and Rest more niche. Since many of these generations have fairly similar stories, and there is not that much to talk about, I wanted to clump Gens 4 through 8 together. The introduction of stronger items, stronger moves, and stronger Pokemon makes stall-based strategies harder to pull off. In my opinion, the most impactful change was the introduction of Choice Scarf, which locks the user into one move, but gives it a speed boost. This item can be used to outspeed many of the previous Toxic users to 2-KO them before they can safely set up. Choice Scarf can also be used alongside the move Trick to completely disrupt stall strategies. This is seen on both Pokemon like Cresselia and Rotom, and more offensive Pokemon like Togekiss and Porygon Z. The item Mail helps deal with this since you cannot be tricked, and Z moves and Z crystals are also immune, but it does limit your item choice, most notably preventing you from running leftovers. Male is also visible in Team Preview in Gen 5. I think, admittedly, this transition is kind of abrupt, so I think having something here, the gens, these formats still have important differences, like sound moves not going through substitute in gens 4 and 5 being relevant, which is relevant for Pokemon like Volcarona and Meloetta. And I also want to say, Megas and Z moves, massively increasing the power level more than ever before. Let me review this whole section. Male is also visible on Team Preview in Generation 5. These formats still have important differences, like sound moves not going through substitute in Gens 4 and 5, which is relevant for Pokemon like Volcarona and Meloetta, and Megas and Z moves massively increasing the power level more than ever before. I'm a little unsure. I think instead I should include the Gen 8 thing here. And Generation 8 limiting toxic distribution for Pokemon, or for Gen 8 Pokemon. These formats still have important differences, like sound moves not going through substitute in Gens 4 and 5, which is relevant for Pokemon like Volcarona and Meloetta, and Generation 8 limiting toxic distribution for Generation 8 Pokemon. Yeah, I think that's good. Alright. Especially because both of those are, like, things that well, I guess sound moves not going through sub helps toxic, but then the second thing I mentioned hurts it, and then I think it transitions into the still blah blah blah. It's good. I do want to take one more look, because I did it in the old gens channel. Let me read through some stuff. Because there was a lot of conversation about it. And I dropped the script in the old gens channel of the 1v1 cord. There was a good amount of discussion. I think I missed some stuff at the bottom here. So I know Mishliff said, if you want to mention more niche stuff for Sword and Shield, Toxic Zera and Toxic Coco are used along Air Balloon to lure some Pokemon that struggle to deal damage to you. So that's something I could mention. I think I would mention that in the text section. Like this. In Sword and Shield, or some Pokemon can make use of immunities to deal with, to use Toxic effectively. Sword and Shield, Tapu Koko, and Zeraora holding air balloons for ground type Pokemon who they otherwise struggle to damage. Sometimes Toxic is run on more offensive Pokemon as a tech move to deal with certain bulky Pokemon they otherwise could not break. Some examples of this is Oras, Mega Altaria, and Kyurem Black for Mega Slowbro. Apparently Kyurem Black, it's not necessarily for Mega Slowbro. Was for Mega Sableye and Chansey. I'll say for Mega Slowbro and Chansey. I think that's good enough. For Pokemon like Mega Slowbro and Chansey. Some examples of this are Oras, Mega Altaria, and Kyurem Black for Pokemon like Mega Slowbro and Chansey, and Let's Go Pikachu, Eevee, Mega Pidgeot from you. Because I have to have my legally required Let's Go mention, right? And then some Pokemon can make use of immunities to make to use Toxic effectively, like Sword and Shield Taku Koko and Zeraora holding air balloons for ground-type Pokemon, who they otherwise struggle to damage. Toxic in this case is usually run alongside a setup move, or healing move like Rest or Roost, or a stall-based move like Substitute or Protect. Toxic in this case is usually run alongside a healing move like Rest or Roost, or a stall-based move like Substitute or Protect in order to not slowly go down to their attacks. These bulky setup Pokemon can still run Rest, meaning that Toxic isn't the perfect option, and they can sometimes run Rest or run sets to beat, like run other sets to beat Toxic users, but they do often run sets that lose to Toxic, meaning it can be viable. I think that's fine. Clicking Toxic into Mega Sableye. No, Kyurem Black has Terravolt or whatever, so it ignores the ability, Magic Bounce. It ignores the Magic Bounce. So, it's a perfectly fine click. Yeah. I think that's fine. All good. Happens. It's an easy thing to forget. So, I think that's good. I think there was one other thing I wanted to do. Let me check this. I maybe wanted to talk about how Gen 1 Toxic, because, like, obviously this video is about Toxic and Rest and their interactions, right? And maybe I mention still loses to certain sets. Yeah, like, that's a big thing about those kind of tech sets, is they can still lose to certain sets. Whether it be because they have Rest, or just they have other tools to deal with them. And I do make sure to mention that, but it still can work against a lot of sets, you know? Like, that's why it's run in the first place, is that it beats some sets. And, like, for instance, you see in your Scout that the opponent often runs sets that lose to Toxic whatever. And then you bring Toxic whatever against it, and it loses because they randomly brought a different set that they never bring, you know? So I'm thinking about including something probably in the Generation 1 section. It could be an intro thing, honestly, about how a lot of Toxic Pokemon run Rest alongside it. However, I think this is kind of just a Gen 1, like, okay. So the Pokemon that run Rest alongside Toxic. Some Gen 1 Pokemon do, stuff like Articuno, Zapdos, Jolteon can. Mostly because they don't have Recover. Gen 2, if you're running Toxic, you're often running it alongside Rest, unless you're trying to run like full Toxic Tauros, Toxic Kangaskhan stuff, which in my opinion isn't very good. And then you have the more niche cases in like later gens, like Toxic Rest Imprison Kyurem, right? So I do think I want to mention Rest being run alongside Toxic. The question is, do I talk about it in Generation 1? Or do I talk about it in, like, the intro or outro? Because I think it's, like, kind of like how Toxic and Rest are often at odds, but they are often run together, you know? I think that's a cool point to bring up. Can situationally use Toxic alongside moves like Substitute, Reflect. Yes. Other faster Pokemon like Jolteon, Zapdos, and Articuno can situationally use Toxic alongside moves like Substitute, Reflect, and Rest. Two breakthrough Pokemon that do not normally use Rest, like Chansey, Snorlax. Oh yeah, and then also there was this little bit at the end of this section where I want to maybe work on the ending here, because it does feel very abrupt. Because I want to include this sentiment of toxic I often either just wins, instead of often I should say either. Just wins or forces a rest, which is effectively a win. Because I do think that for Generation 1, this is a very good statement to say. And it kind of wraps up the whole paragraph, or the whole section. It's just, I need to figure out a good way to transition into this ending. And I'm not sure how to do it. Because currently I go from, like, the faster Pokemon like Jolteon, Zapdos, whatever, you know? And that's not a good transition in my eyes. I like how I said I wasn't going to work on the script today. Good times. And I'm not writing a bunch. It's more of just smaller changes. And then, at the very least, I think I want to wait to do the outro until, like, the rest of the video is done, you know? The question is, do I do the intro now, you know? And the answer is probably yes. I probably should do the intro. Because, yeah, no, I definitely should do the intro, and then I do the outro later. I think doing the outro a lot later is good, but I should do the intro. But for now, I need to figure out a good way of how to set this up. I don't want to do, like, the classic, like, middle school essay thing where it's like, as you can see, and then just repeat your thesis statement. Because in a way, this is a thesis statement. Like, as long as you can survive. As long as you can survive the attacks coming your way. Toxic either just wins or forces a rest, which is effectively a win. This is a bit better, and I like the more, because, like, obviously, you click Toxic, you take 80% your first turn from a crit, and then you get parried, and then you die immediately the next turn. Obviously, then you're not just winning. And this also does, admittedly, ease the transition a bit. As long as you can effectively survive coming, often just... I think I want to go back to often. Toxic often just wins or forces a rest, which is usually... I don't know, because it's like... It's just the fact that stuff like Amnesia, Slowbro exists that can click rest and be fine. Often just wins or forces a rest, which is effectively a win. It's like, is effectively a win isn't necessarily true. Which... Maybe I just scrap this whole part. I don't know, because I do think it's a good sentiment, but at the same time, I can't figure out a good way to make it accurate. Toxic often just wins or forces a rest. And then the rest can be broken through. It's just, the which is effectively a win. Maybe it's fine to just use this as hyperbole. Obviously, I do go over exceptions. But... You know, maybe it's fine, especially because you have something like Venusaur or Executor, which wins even through rest. Maybe that's fine. Yeah. I'm not 100% sure, but I think that's maybe okay. And then I think I like this addition as it kind of smooths the transition. It's still a bit rough, and I think that I want to keep this comment being like, hey, I need to work on this. But I think it's fine. Anyway, shout out to the fact that I have, like, 6 pages of script, and yet I can't write a 1-page paper. Shout out to that. Shout out to ADHD. God. It's just bad. It's so bad. ADHD fucking sucks. Yeah, I'll do the outro at the end, and then I still have the intro and ADV. Dude, intros are so freaking hard to write. Like, what am I gonna talk about? Just how toxic is, like, I guess I could just talk about how toxic is an infamous competitive move. I don't know. And I guess that kind of works with the transition of, like, while being at its worst in singles and RBY. I don't know. Doesn't feel great. I don't know. Yeah, that doesn't feel amazing. Intros are just always the hardest part to write, in my opinion. Because you have to have this weird... Especially, like, with YouTube, it's like you have to have something catchy in the intro, right? But what the hell is there to catchy? I guess it's like... If they're clicking a video called The History of Toxic and parentheses and also Rest in 1v1, I don't think you super need a catchy intro, but at the same time, I should have at least something. I don't know. And I feel like what it should be is commenting on the whole not being able to switch thing. Because obviously, like, in singles, one of the biggest counterplays to toxic damage is switching out to reset the toxic timer. But in 1v1, you can't do that. So, it is very strong in theory. Maybe I could do, like, it's a very strong in theory, but is it in practice? Let's find out, you know? That could work. Let me make a note of that. What do you mean it's a noob trap? Okay, it can be in some gens, I guess. It definitely depends on the tier that you're playing. And I think it's interesting seeing Toxic be strong in earlier gens, and you're like, oh yeah, Toxic will likely stay strong throughout. And it kind of falls off a lot, especially, I mean, obviously it falls off a lot in Gen 9. Gen 8, and further on, earlier on, it's kind of more situational, but it can be good. I think Gen 8 Toxic is actually pretty good. You see it on, like, Entei to good effect, Zapdos to good effect, Chansey for good effect, to good effect. And then Gens 4 and 5, it can be okay. I think Gen 5, it's a bit harder. 1, because Male is shown on preview. 2, because Gems. But it can work. I don't know. But yeah, I think I want to highlight the fact that you cannot switch. Someone coming from 6v6 Toxic looks amazing. That, yes, I would agree with that. And I think that's maybe what I want to highlight in this intro section. And I think that it's like, you know, Toxic... Okay. Let's try to write this. Toxic is a very infamous move in competitive Pokemon. How do I continue from here? Toxic is a very infamous move in competitive Pokemon. Something about being used for chip damage. It's consistently used to spread or to get chip damage on, or maybe spreading the badly poisoned status effect can allow, maybe just like putting a timer on an offensive threat, or making a wall, or forcing a wall to heal is very powerful. Yeah, I like that idea. Putting a timer on an offensive threat or forcing a wall to heal, maybe not forcing a wall to heal, but forcing a wall to act, if you will. Or forcing, damage on a wall over the game, or over the game on a wall, How do I want to word this? Because toxic strength on a wall, like for instance, you toxic something like a Chansey. Well, actually, Chansey is a bad example because of Natural Cure. What's like an infamous wall? Not Toxapex because of that. You get my point, though. It's like you click Toxic on a wall, and suddenly they're forced to heal a lot more, instead of making progress. So maybe, and also you can force them into range of your attacks. Or chipping a wall into range of your offensive threats is very powerful. Putting a timer on an offensive threat or chipping a wall into range of your opponent's threats or of your offensive threats is very powerful. However, it's very easy to get around the increasing damage or the stacking damage of Toxic. Switching out. But what if you couldn't? In the 1v1 metagame, you have one Pokemon out, or you have a team of 3, or in the 1v1 metagame, while having a team of 3 Pokemon, you only send out one at a time. However, it's very easy. However, it's pretty. I should say instead of very easy, because obviously sometimes it's like you don't want to switch out. It's pretty simple to get around the compounding. I think is better than stacking. Compounding damage of Toxic. However, it's pretty simple to get around the compounding damage of Toxic. Switching out. But what if you couldn't? In the 1v1 metagame, while having a team of 3 Pokemon, you only send out one at a time. It's very... And then, if that Pokemon gets Toxicked, there is no universal way to reset the damage. Meaning that it is if that Pokemon gets Toxicked, there is no universal way to reset the damage. I like that because there obviously are ways to reset the damage. Not even just rest, stuff like Refresh or Shed Skin. But, for the most part, those aren't really relevant. The question is, how do I transition into my final point? I feel like it's like close. Let me read this whole thing. This intro doesn't need to be long, so I kind of want it to be short. Toxic is a very infamous move in competitive Pokemon. Putting a timer on an offensive threat or chipping a wall into range of your offensive... I don't like the repetition of offensive threats. Of your Wall Breaker, maybe? Or of your Sweeper. I like Sweeper. Chipping a wall into range of your Sweeper is very powerful. However, it's pretty simple to get around the compounding damage of Toxic. Switching out. I don't like this. Just switch out. I like just... Maybe just switching out. Just switching out. Just switch out. It's pretty simple to get around the compounding damage of Toxic. Just switch out. I think just switch out is good. However, it's pretty simple to get around the compounding damage of Toxic. Just switch out. But what if you couldn't? In the 1v1 metagame, while having a team of 3 Pokemon, you only send out one at a time. You only send out one per battle, maybe. If that makes it more clear. One Pokemon per battle. If that Pokemon gets Toxic, there's no universal way to reset the damage. How do I do this? There's no universal way to reset the damage. And then I want to get to this final point. Or is this even fine as it is? There's no universal way to reset the damage. Toxic. How do I do this? What music is this? I don't know. Toxic is a very infamous move in competitive Pokemon. Putting a timer on an offensive threat or chipping a wall to range of your sweeper is very powerful. However, it's pretty simple to get around the compounding damage of Toxic. Just switch out. But what if you couldn't? In the 1v1 metagame, while having a team of 3 Pokemon, you only send out 1 Pokemon per battle. If that Pokemon gets Toxic, there's no universal way to reset the damage. I'm pretty sure I need at least 1 sentence before this final point. Or I can expand on this sentence. There's no universal way to reset the damage. So if you cannot KO the enemy, Toxic, or you will eventually succumb to, I don't know how to spell succumb. Is it like this? Succumb to... If that Pokemon gets Toxic, there's no universal way to reset the damage. So if you cannot KO the enemy, you will eventually succumb to it. And then obviously I'll talk about rest as well. Because in the Gen 1 section, I mentioned there is a way to completely cure Toxic, though, being the move Rest. So I think I don't necessarily need to mention Rest in the intro, because I mentioned it pretty early on into the RBY section. So we have... Let me read this section, because I think this is mostly good for the most part. If you think it's wrong, something's up, tell me. Toxic is a very infamous move in competitive Pokemon. Putting a timer on an offensive threat, or chipping a wall into range of your sweeper is very powerful. However, it's pretty simple to get around the compounding damage of Toxic. Just switch out. But what if you couldn't? In the 1v1 metagame, while having a team of 3 Pokemon, you only send out 1 Pokemon per battle. If that Pokemon gets Toxic, there is no universal way to reset the damage. So if you cannot KO the enemy, you'll eventually succumb to it. You will eventually succumb to it. I'm not 100% sure by the use of it, but I think it's the best choice here because I mentioned Toxic earlier in the sentence. If that Pokemon gets Toxic, there is no universal way to reset the damage. So if you cannot KO the enemy, you will eventually succumb to it. I think that's probably fine, and obviously I can change it later. It's very strong in theory, but is it in practice? Let's find out. And then let me make these 2 different sentences. Perfect. I think that's good. I think that's fine for an intro. Obviously, it's a very YouTube-ish intro, but I think it's fine. And then for the script, at least for the big writing sections, it's just ADV. So that's not bad. I'm very happy with how the script's going. I'll make sure to, like, read it all before, recording it. Plus, of course, I'll be reading it as I'm recording it. The biggest hurdle for me is definitely going to be editing, right? Because editing on stream, I'm not sure if that's going to be a thing I can really do, right? At the very least, it would be really awkward for me to do that. So that might just be something I have to do on my own, which, like, is fine. It's just, I don't know. I feel like doing this on stream has really helped me push past the ADHD and actually just freaking do it, you know? So I'm worried that if I'm not doing it on stream, I might just not work on the video. I could also record the lines on stream, but I'd probably prefer to do that off stream. Because I will fuck up a bunch and I'll be embarrassed. Also, I think I might just delete the script with notes. No, I'll keep it in case I want to do it. But I'll probably add the effects, like, later, but it's fine. I do have the notes on the ADV section, though. But what's interesting to me is that looking at the ADV section, at least out of the mons that commonly run Toxic, it's kind of just Tauros as a... Like, the only good mon is kind of just Tauros that runs it. I think Toxic Raikou is maybe underrated, but it's kind of just those two at best, you know? Which is interesting. So, like, I guess there's a world where you include ADV in the Gen 4 through 8 section, but I think having it as its own section just due to the power of Toxic Tauros is good, especially because Toxic Tauros was kind of the inspiration for the video. It was Toxic Tauros plus how RBY Toxic goes and how a lot of things are just able to run it, right? So I don't know. But I think at the very least, I want to have, like, I definitely want to give Tauros its own section and then highlight the fact that the Toxic set is both really strong by itself, but also bolstered by the power of its Choice Band set, and both of them handle almost everything. Like, the only Pokemon in ADV that can handle both sets... Here, let me do this. Like, if we look here, the options are kind of slim. It's, like, kind of Vaporeon with Acid Armor Rest, but it's, like, kind of shaky, because Banded Tauros does do a lot of damage. The bigger ones is Arcanine can do, like, okay, but again, it's a little weird. Registeel, as long as you don't get crit, does well. I think the biggest one, like, the issue with Machamp and Yama is, in theory, they can do well, because obviously you have very strong attacks. You have Guts as well, so if you get Toxic, you hit them really hard. But the thing is, Brick Break, even with Choice Band, because of Intimidate, doesn't kill Tauros, and they just two-shot you with Banded Return. And if you go for Counter or Cross Chop, they will click Substitute on you, and you will cry. If you call out the set, it can work, but you have to call it out. To my knowledge, Armaldo works pretty well, and then Regirock is probably the most reliable. With Curse Rest, you don't even take that much damage from Crit Earthquake, and you can maybe even counter it, right? So, and you ignore Intimidate as a nice bonus. But, yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Tauros is weird. It's really weird. But, yeah, that's kind of it. And then there's also some Steel types that can do okay into it. I think Skarmory is actually kind of cool. Steelix can do okay. You can probably make Registeel more reliable. You click like counter turn 1, and if they are the Toxic Cell set, they can't touch you. So probably needs to be countered to be reliable. I do think Iron Defense plus counter Registeel has potential, though. I won't lie. I think that actually has potential. Anyway. Do I want to end stream? Do I want to do more Ironmon? I think I want to do more Ironmon. So let me get that set up real quick. There we go. Alright. Let's do a little more, shall we? I have to reset it, though, I think. Maybe we'll get up to attempt 200. Who knows? The resets in this just goes so much faster, though, which is kind of nice. Like, the resets go faster, but the odds of you getting out of the first split are much lower. Right. This Kangaskhan is good if it somehow gets through. The odds of it getting through, though, are rough. The odds of it getting through was none. But those are some decent stats. The issue is it had Feint Attack, and that was it. And Psybeam, I guess, later, but oh well. It doesn't matter. It died to a high jump kick anyway, right? So it doesn't matter. It's annoying because, like, all my special attackers only get physical moves, and all my physical attackers only get special moves. Huntail. Please have a not normal... Okay. Too high of HP. Let's try to avoid clicking Boom immediately by accident. And it doesn't matter. I just got double flinched by Extrasensory. Brutal. We go again. Shuckle. Shuckle just doesn't learn many moves. Also, this one's bad. But it's mostly, like, it only gets 5 moves by level up, which is kind of crazy to me. I don't know how it has 4 stars, though. Like, I'm sorry. The Shuckle doesn't deserve 4 stars. It's just slow and especially frail. Like, this guy gets hit by a bubble beam and it drops. Excuse me. Oops. At least the speed's okay to speed check. A level 8 that outspeeds me isn't necessarily, like, super fast, but it's definitely maybe fast enough. Escape rope, which is kind of shitty in this challenge. Like, it's only useful if you're doing the Diglett's Cave pivot. Mental Herb. Eh. Baby Ball. Ampharos could be something at level 8. I don't know. Leaf Stone. To evolve something via Leaf Stone. Huge. We'll see. A lot of electric types in this forest. Thunderstone. This that fits. Got a Leaf and Thunderstone. Huge. And a Magneton? What is happening? Why are there so many electric types? Why is this the power plant? Okay, Hypno. Fair enough. Level 8 Ampharos. They are slower than me. Bummer. Let me check the other routes. I do have both a Leaf and a Thunderstone, so if I find something that evolves from either of those stones, I can definitely consider it. Okay, the 45%ers in this area look kind of bad. So let me check the other route. This is where I got the dog. So, you never know. Blissey could be good. If I find a level 8 one, that is. Which do exist. Especially because how many times I'm running into it, Jesus. I am running away from it every time, but that's not that big of a deal. Level 8. I outsped it. Bummer. I'd like to maybe see the third Pokemon here. If I find a level 8 Blissey that I can't run away from, I'd be laid down. But, I don't know. It's just all the potential pivots are just freaking slow as hell. Like, if it didn't outspeed me at level 5, I'd be like, okay, that's fine. But I'm outspeeding them at level 8. Or when they're at level 8, so no. Parasect. No, thank you. I guess maybe I go back to the forest to try to find that Hypno. If the Hypno is, like, good enough speed, maybe it could be something, but that Hypno's probably okay. And I'm faster than it. Because why wouldn't I be? Why is everything so slow? I guess maybe looking over here is the best play. Like, at this point, I want to run the Shuckle, because apparently it's faster than everything else. It's just not good. But yeah, Shuckle is 505 BST. That's pretty good. I'm just going to look around for the 2-5% encounters, I guess. Or just throw Shuckle, but I really don't want to throw a Shuckle if I can avoid it. Maybe it's better to just try to get one of the slower encounters and hope it has, like, Dragon Dance. I don't know. Hard to say. I like to find the 5%. I really wish the encounters were normalized. That would be so freaking nice. Or at the very least made it so all of the encounters are always their max levels. I mean, then, no, that would make some problems. I think just making them all normalized would help a lot, though. But I get why they don't, maybe. I don't know. Mantine. Memento. Fuck. Why'd you do this to me? I don't know. I think I'm just gonna catch something in the forest. Whatever comes first between, whatever level 8 comes first that's fully evolved, maybe. I don't know. I think I would prefer Magneton just because the typing, but also quad steel or quad ground weakness is rough, so I don't know. And I might just send it no matter what. Who knows, maybe the Magneton has Dragon Dance and also it has Levitate. Who knows? Well, apparently all the level 8s left. I'll throw a ball. You get a luxury ball, sure. Water spout? That kills me. Okay, fair enough. I just wasted my time, sure. Yeah, Magneton was 27 speed. Ampharos was 15 speed. Hypno was 18 speed. Blissey was 48 speed. Like, where are the Mons with speed? Why are there 0 good pivots with speed? Oh, I should have found this Umbreon, I guess. Well, even then, it wasn't like a cracked Umbreon by any means. No, it was cracked. It wasn't that cracked. I don't know. It was good. But, like, obviously, I have to survive long enough to get Calm Mind, and then its only moves are freaking outrage. Yeah, no, this run was just cooked. This run had no chance. That's okay. Well, there's the return of Hypno, I guess. It's not fast enough. And will likely die to this Lapras. Yep. Huge burn. Punch the mic, my apologies. Alright. Bunch of babies. Bunch of small children. Nice Horn Drill. I think I lose, right? Like, I'm just gonna get a Horn Drill eventually. Yeah. I mean, it's always like the odds of you getting past the lab are pretty low. I wonder what the actual odds are. Well, not the actual odds, because obviously it's way too complicated to really say the actual quote-unquote odds, but I wonder what the statistic will be by the end of it. Parentheses, if there's an end to it. Alright, Graveler, let's go. We got Serene Grace Akazuka. Oh man, you have freaking Cosmic Power? You gotta be kidding me. I guess I have Facade. I have a high attack stat, but it's not that high. I mean, yeah. That makes sense. I don't know what to yap about. I just have nothing to yap about. I'm such a bad streamer. My life's just boring. Or at least it's... The only things that are interesting are, like, not interesting in, like, a good way. Also, shoutouts to his legal, huge power user. The issue is it just doesn't have good moves for it. And also the defense is too low. Like, the speed's actually good. But the issue is the nature sucks. And the... Like, I wish the attack stat was higher. Like, it's okay. I don't know. It's not vulnerable, I think. Like, if I get hit by, like, a rock throw, I just freaking plummet into this ground. And the attack stat, or the stats aren't high enough to make up for it. So what can I talk about? And there's RBY OMPL, which is coming up. I think this weekend has the draft. I think it's looking like Sunday evening? Sunday afternoon / evening? I have no idea. But that'll be cool. I have some ideas for things to bring, but it'll depend on scouts for the most part. Alright, well that's a fast Persian. That could be something. Persian doesn't really have a great BST though, which is kind of... would be nice to avoid. But it did hit me pretty hard. I'd maybe like to check a level 8 Manectric. You're faster than me? Okay, well they blocked me, so I guess I'm catching you. Yeah, I think I run this. Moves aren't fantastic, but they're not awful. The attack stat's really high. The speed isn't the worst thing in the world. I'm just gonna send it. And probably lose this Oddish. And it does get a good amount of moves. I guess I'll take Disable over Block. Block. I don't know, it's just worth trying to run, I guess. It's not a good Manectric, but I'm just sending it anyway. Moonstone, huge. I just need like a physical move that's like decent. And Mudshot's okay. But preferably like, I don't know, Body Slam, maybe like Brick Break. I don't know. That's Dig. That's a problem. Okay, never mind. Yeah, I mean, it was pretty okay. It's physically way too frail, though. That's the problem. And I got Drill Peck at level 12. Didn't really get much else. Fair enough. 0 attack IV. Awesome. Love that. What was up with that Persian? Okay, no, the Persian was bad. It was just... did a lot of damage for some reason. Fair enough. Alright. Oh yeah, Pokemon Day. I think Pokemon Day is the 27th, right? A Return of Hypno. Pretty sure it's the 27th. That's a thing. We've already talked about that a good amount, I think. I don't know. Stardew Valley also has its 10th anniversary very soon. Or, I'm pretty sure it hasn't happened yet. I think it's just at the end of the month. I have no idea. Got Stab Secret Power for this Poggy Wag. As I just get destroyed. Fair enough. Sorry about that. Yeah, I'm not too sure how much longer I want to stream. Maybe I'll just end when I get to 200. Maybe I'll continue because I have no self-control. Who knows? I've been punched megally. Milo would have been cool. It's fine. Fast as hell. Fair enough. Eventually we'll get past the lab again. Alright. We ride. We got low kick for the Eevee. Oh, this guy might just not have a good move to hit me. Hell yeah, if true. I was hoping they'd bust that flail there, I'm not gonna lie. Barrier? Sure, that's better than Reflect. Gyarados. With Water Pulse. Okay, well, screw me then. What was up with that Gyara? It was okay. Taillow Water Pulse, its special attack wasn't amazing, but also wasn't terrible. I don't know, the moves weren't, like, fantastic outside of that, though. And it's mostly a physical attacker. So, whatever. It's fine, I didn't want to win that run anyway. Meganium. And it's in a spot I can choose. And it's not good. My best bet is, actually no, my best bet was definitely not Blaze Kick. It definitely was Bone Club. Because I was like, oh, even though I'm in Drizzle, I think this is my best bet. But no, my attack stat's a good bit higher, I think. I don't think it's going to matter, though. Just a feeling. Yeah. Eventually we'll get a cracked starter that gets out of the lab. Stab Aurora Beam? Why is this... I mean, I can't use any physical moves after the first battle. But why is this Celio kind of cracked? Okay, never mind. What did it evolve into? Goat Duck? Well, actually, this is a pretty good Goat Duck. This is like the ideal stat spread. It just wouldn't have had a good moves. I'm just fiddling with something in my hands while I'm waiting for the randomizer to randomize. Puggy-Wag? At least I'm not fighting with slacking. I'm still losing to this Grumpig, though. I mean, that's everyone. That's every Iromnom player's hell, right? And that's what we choose to be in. This is just life. Well, Puggy-Wag made it out, so... Shout out to Puggy-Wag. God, I didn't even move. I just turned and I got another encounter. The hell? Pretty good speed for speed checking. It's just that I'm a Poliwag and very frail. Magnet, HP up. PP max. Pretty good items. Provided I get a good mon to use them on. Gotem. Golem, I'm gonna ask you to stop. You two Larvitar. That's a Gyara. I'm just gonna throw a ball. I'm just gonna catch it. Please be good. It's not good. Well, no. Just too slow. I should have speed checked. But I was scared of it just one-shotting me. But I shouldn't have been a coward. Being cowardice messed me up. Though I do think Hydro Pump would have probably just killed me. Because, like, my mon was what? Poliwag? It probably would have killed me. I was very specially frail. I do not have a Moonstone, right? No Moonstone. So I'm looking for a level 8 Magneton, and I would probably catch it no matter what. Or at least try to catch it. Level 6. Baby. Baby. I actually have no idea what the 10% is. I think it might be the Cubone. Yeah, it's looking like the Cubone. Yeah, I don't know. Eventually I'll find a level 8 mag. Mag's not terrible. And like its BST is like eh, but the typing's good outside of the ground weakness. Like, yeah, you're weak to ground, but you resist like almost everything else. Like, I'm pretty sure outside of your weaknesses and then the water typing, you resist everything. I'm pretty sure. Level 8 Magnetons do exist, by the way, in case you were wondering, because I was starting to wonder. But I'm damn sure they exist. They just aren't showing up. Maybe if I go to the top side of the grass, they'll show up. Hey! Well, it's faster than me. That's a good sign. So far, the moves are ass. But it will have Thunderbolt plus extra sensory and be a really good special attacker. It's ass. It's really bad. Is it the Misdreavus, the Lunatone run? Is it the Lunatone run? Dodrio? I'm just gonna catch this Dodrio. Whatever. It's level 6, but if it's good, it will survive, and if it's bad, it won't survive. It's bad, so it won't survive. Tragic. Could have done a Route 1 pivot, I guess. Not like it matters, yeah. Fair enough. Zangoose? I'm not against it. It's not good enough. But maybe it'll survive. I should have meditated. I think Payday spam was actually the optimal play. I think meditate once into spam Payday was my correct play there, but oh well. But yeah, from my understanding, at a level 5, you want your Mon to have at least 9 or 17 speed. And I just haven't gotten that in a while. Or at least not a good Mon. Alright, attempt 100. Or 200, excuse me. How long have we been going for? 2 hours, 44 minutes. That's a good long time. Cannot use Dragonite. Cannot use Kyogre. Swap the attack and speed, and this guy would be cracked, but unfortunately, that's just not the case. Doesn't matter, because it's not getting out of the lab. And we'll keep going. I still have energy. Why not? I like how I was like, yeah, this is going to be a short stream. I'm not going to work on the script today either. And then I worked on the script, albeit, like, it wasn't that much, but it definitely was an important section to get done, and I had some good edits. And then it's ending up to be a pretty decently long stream. Obviously, long streams nowadays can go for, like, 10 hours or whatever because people are crazy. But, you know what I mean. That's Aeroblast on my Heracross. That's Gore from my comfort character. Blob. The champion? I'm down. It's bad. Because I'm not allowed to have fast Mons. Bro, why do you have confusion? Why do you have to have confusion? At least I'm actually getting mons with, like, good BSTs. Just too much HP, not enough in anywhere else. Oh, that Sandslash has dig, huh? Oh, it's all... Why have we had 2 cases of No Guard? Wait, no, No Guard's not in this game, right? No Guard's a Gen 4 ability, right? How was I able to hit that Sandslash? I don't know. Is Dig bugged or something in the first fight? Like, what? I don't know. Regirock ass moveset. Yeah, I don't know. But we hit a Mon underground from Dig twice now. And I'm pretty sure No Guard is a Gen 4 ability. Mostly because, you know, Machamp doesn't get it in Gen 3, but does get it in Gen 4. All that stuff. I'm skeptical. Also, I've gotten a lot of Trace Mons that have gotten out of the lab. That is very interesting to me. I mean, I'm not complaining. Because Trace is cracked. X accuracy, huge. Master Ball. Primate. Sharpedo, maybe. It's not faster than me, though, I think. None of these mons are faster than me. Why is nothing fast? Oh, it's fast. Do I catch it? I want to maybe see one more move. I'm just going to catch it, whatever. I'm not Master Balling it, though. It doesn't deserve it. I should have Master Balled it. It killed me. Let's take a look. Sharpedo was not bad. Return, Drill Peck, Mudshot, Sky Uppercut, Rolling Kick. I don't know if it would have made it. It definitely would not have made it, but, like, it was okay. Were there any other pivots that were okay? Not really, honestly. Most of the pivots were kind of ass, but that's fine. You know, I gotta check if the Volbeat had good speed plus good moves plus huge power. Or pure power. It could be either. It is weird that they made 2 different abilities that do the same thing. And then they only gave pure or huge power to bunnies. Like, why do only bunnies get huge power? Like, it has to be something in Japanese that I just don't know. Like some pun in Japanese. It's weird to me. And then pure power is only on the Metatite line. I do wonder if they'll make another Mon with pure power. Well, actually they did. It's called Mega Starmie. Like, the odds of Mega Starmie having huge or pure... It would probably be pure power. I think pure power fits more thematically. Just makes sense. Nice Master Ball in the Curlia. I think I might place Whirlpool into Pursuits. Yeah, I think I lose to this Metapod. Yeah. Understandable. Have a nice day. Puggy Wrath, Flareon. Come on, be a good cracked Puggy Wrath. It's It's not cracked. Sad. Nice. Thunderbolt versus the cooler Thunderbolt. My Thunderbolt did like 15%, theirs did 100%. Sad. So many Azuriels. I wonder if that Arcanine had a good moveset. Thunder Punch is a solid move. And if it was fast enough. You know, I mentioned it before. I'm going to make the music a tiny bit louder. Looks a little quiet. I've said it before, but this music reminds me of something that would be in Breath of the Wild. And I really want to play Breath of the Wild again. It's been something I've wanted to do for like a while now. It's just a commitment because of how big the game is, you know? And if I'm playing it, I would probably want to get at least close to 100%. The only things that I might not care about are Koroks and map locations. But even then, I might care about those. I don't know. You know? But Breath of the Wild's such a good game. I guess here's my take on Breath of the Wild versus Tears of the Kingdom, right? I think Tears of the Kingdom is a great game. But I think it's definitely a good amount below Breath of the Wild. I think Fortifying Mochi. Huh. That is very deep. Thanks for checking that out, I guess. Basically, I think Tears of the Kingdom is a great game. I played that game, again, pretty much 100% except for Koroks. And, you know, I spent like 300 hours on that game or something. But I still think it's definitely a good step down worse than Breath of the Wild. And I think that the reason's actually kind of simple. I think well, first off, there are a few reasons. I think Breath of the Wild's story is significantly better than Tears of the Kingdom's. Like, I think one of Tears of the Kingdom's biggest weaknesses is the whole, like, you know, after you defeat a dungeon, you have to sit through the cutscene and they're like, the Secret Zone or whatever it was? And it's like the same exact cutscene every time, but with like very slightly different dialogue. I don't know. I got crit by a Machoke's Vital Throw. While I actually really like Breath of the Wild story, I also, admittedly, am not the biggest fan of the time travel stuff. But, I don't know. It does feel weird that Tears of the Kingdom also misses that a lot. Like, a lot of the Breath of the Wild stuff is just not there in Tears of the Kingdom. Like, you can find one dead guardian. And that's it, right? Like, that just kind of feels to me. But I think a lot of it is just that, like, exploring in Breath of the Wild feels so much better to me than it does in Tears of the Kingdom. I think it's because it's a lot harder to explore in Breath of the Wild. You don't have towers that send you far up into the air to glide. You have to just go around and run around. You cannot make those giant freaking vehicles to do shit. You have to work for it. And I like that, personally. I think it's cool that you have to work for it. Obviously, I think Tears of the Kingdom has some cool stuff, but honestly, I was not a big fan of the building thing. Like, it just didn't really feel like Zelda to me. So, I don't know. Maybe I'm just being silly. Should not have agility there, by the way. I meant to click Sideway, but it's misclicked. But, yeah, Breath of the Wild feels amazing to run around the world. I do think Tears of the... You keep saying how I'm about to type something. I do think Breath of the Wild's dungeons might be a bit worse. Especially if you don't use, like, hovercrafts and dungeons, because hovercrafts and dungeons just make things way too easy. I think the dungeons in Tears of the Kingdom are actually very solid. Specifically, the one in the depths for the fire dungeon in the depths is pretty good. The Garuda one is also really fun. I like how it's more like a traditional Zelda dungeon instead of all of them being Divine Beasts. I think that was a good change. Obviously, the Divine Beasts work very well for the story, and it is cool being able to explore them. But I think I definitely prefer the dungeons in Tears of the Kingdom more. I think, yeah, because it's the low-gravity water area, which was not my favorite, but it was kind of cool. Also, nice mime. It's not good, but it's cool. Anyway, and then the Gerudo area was sick. With the whole, like, desert pyramid thing. You have... What's it called? You know. You have, what's it called? You have the depths, fire area, which was kind of cool. What's the last one? What was the Rito one? Was that one also in the sky? I think it was also in the sky. At least traversing to it was kind of cool. The dungeon itself was kind of whatever, but traversing to it was pretty cool. So, I don't know. Illuminate is really annoying because I'm just running into more mons. But I guess I can help when I'm looking for a pivot. Since these guys are kind of slow. And low level. That's the biggest thing. But yeah, I don't know. I also admittedly wish that the Tears of the Kingdom map was a bit different. But obviously, the fact that they have 3 different maps, but also, like, I don't know, the depths, everyone admits that the depths were a bit underwhelming. And then the sky also just didn't actually have that much going on. Outside, like, you had the Great Sky Island, and then you had some big island stuff, but honestly, the sky also kind of felt underwhelming. And I just really like the world of Breath of the Wild compared to Tears of the Kingdom. I don't know. It just feels so much better to me. I really want to replay Breath of the Wild. And then, like, maybe I'll replay Tears of the Kingdom, but probably not, at least for a while, you know? But again, it's just playing Breath of the Wild is such a big commitment. But maybe I'll just rip the Band-Aid off and do it. Because it's so fun, but that means I'll be streaming less, probably. I'd love to find a level 8 X-Cloud. That'd be cool. Are you faster than me? Nope. Bye. Slowking, huh? I'm down if you're good. I also think I just like the side quests more. Again, I think a lot of side quests in Tears of the Kingdom are around the building mechanic, and I'm just not the biggest fan of the building mechanic. While, Breath of the Wild side quests are not. So I guess, so... Is Slowking a 5% here? That would really suck if it is. Yeah, it looks like it is. It looks like it's Shuppet and Ghastly. Bummer. Bird Nation down here. I just know this mime is not good enough to run. Can I have a pivot, please? Maybe if I find a Slowking in the other route, I'll just catch it. Let me find the 10% here, though, first. Eventually. I really wish these were normalized, but it's fine. I'm trying to think of what else, but it's also just been a long time since I played Breath of the Wild. I remember I played it when it released on the Wii U, because I did not have a Switch yet. And then I played it again on Switch later. But I don't really remember much of... I don't know. Oh, also, I guess Well, the abilities that you get for helping people out are definitely different. Oh, yeah, another weird thing. Why is the bird guy, why do you have his son? Why is it not him? All of the other ones are the person that you worked with in Breath of the Wild. Why? Also, why did the bot... This freaking... Bot freaking... Oops, that's not what I wanted to do. It pinged me. Bots don't normally ping you. I don't know. But... yeah, it's weird that you get the kid for the Rito. And the other ones are the person you interacted with in Breath of the Wild. Like, why is that? I'm just catching this Slow King. Screw it. Oh, it's ass. Oh, well. Can I find, like, a decent pivot? I'm just gonna get this X-Cloud. I know it will be bad because it's slow. Yeah, I don't know. Also, rip Durians. Durians died in Tears of the Kingdom for our sins. Yeah, this guy's also slow as brick. And this guy just dies, hopefully. But I won't, like, try to kill it. Except I might. Please land a guillotine on me. I'm just not gonna heal and fight the second trainer. Why are you using rest? Is your only attack snore? Like... why? I guess I can teach Iron Tail. I don't know. I'm not healing, by the way. So if I somehow get through the forest with X-Cloud, it will be a miracle. Especially because I'm out of Dizzy Punches. Alright. Why is this guy living for so long? Just die. Just die, X-Cloud. I'm gonna be so mad if this guy just lives. X-Cloud, it really was, it lived for so long. Like, there was just no pivots, right? Like, there were no good pivots. Dragonair might have been acceptable. Yeah, I mean, they had Thunderbolt. That's about where the goodness ends, but it did evolve into a cracked Meds. If it got there. The issue is, likely would not have gotten there. But who knows, maybe it could have. And then the pivots on the other routes weren't great either, so fair enough. Oh, my ears are overheating from my headphones. Never had that happen before. Okay. Vaporeon? That's a pretty good mod. It's bad. But it at least has decent odds to get out of this first area. Really? You had to spite me to kill all my Blast Burn PP? That's so rude. Get out of here. Siri, I wasn't talking to you.
Okay.
I don't know if you heard that. They just responded with, okay. Maybe I catch the Masquerade because it's faster. Yeah, I'm just gonna do that. It's not a pivot, but, like, it's faster than me, so things will be easier. And who knows, maybe it's correct. Or maybe I will run out of balls before I catch it. Okay, fine. Let me out. Thank you. Alright. Survive. Shelgon? I don't know, could be something. Pupitar? I'd rather have Shelgon, because it evolves earlier. And I think the pool for evolutions are a bit better. Delibird? No. Let me leave. Everything's faster than me, because I have 8 speed. Shift Tree? I'm dead. Fair enough. I wanted to check. What did you... Xcloud returns, but this time it actually was decent. I would have maybe tried to run this Xcloud. Shieldon was not great, and evolved into a not great Altaria. Shift Tree was bad, but it killed me, so here we are. Fair enough. I think that'll be it for stream today. Thanks for joining me, though. This was fun, as it always is. Bye!